Hey guys, how you doing? Notorious DYD, aka Theron Shan. Um, I'd like to show you a video that I've been thinking about for a while, and I finally wanted to kind of put it, well, basically out to everybody to see what they thought about it. Back in November, I saw the November subscribers town hall with Tony Zurovec and Tyler Witkin. One of the things that they were talking about was how they were going to handle the mannerisms and some of the issues that come about with quantum drive interdiction. And this is something that, to anybody that knows me, to anybody that's seen me on the forums, it's something I'm pretty passionate about. I'm always theory crafting about a lot of things, but quantum drive interdiction seems to be the one that I is my cause du jour. The reason is because it seems to be the kind of the third rail of space games. Either games really get it right or they totally get it wrong. And it's one of the things that I think CIG really could get right um, with the help of the community. So I want to kind of put my idea out there, run it up the flagpole, and see what anybody thinks about it. So you'll see right here that I'm using Homeworld as the basis for my idea. Now, please let me be clear. I am not advocating that CIG simply just take this interface from Homeworld or Homeworld 2 and plop it down in the game and call it a day. They're obviously going to put their special sauce on it and beef it up and do a whole bunch of cool things. But I think this is the basis of a very engaging user interface and gameplay element. It's very simple, and a lot of times, simple stuff just works. There's no reason to make things more complicated than they truly need to be. So, with that being said, let's take a look at basically what we're looking at on the screen. In the center of the screen, you'll see one, two, three icons. These three triangle icons. Doesn't matter if they say interceptor. We're not going to worry about that for right now. That is basically you or I or whoever is going to be doing the quantum drive interdiction. Please disregard this mothership. There's nothing I can do about it. I can't move it out of the way. In the game of Homeworld, the ship is immobile, so it's stuck where it's at. But this is basically the center of your screen is always going to be where you're going to be located at for purposes of doing interdiction. And this can be wherever you're set up in the an asteroid field. Now, this is a large cluster of asteroids in some star system. If you take a look around, no planets nearby. It may be out in the middle of nowhere, and preferably that's where you'd want to do it. Is kind of out in the middle of nowhere. So let's zoom back in. Actually, I'm going to zoom out for a second. No, I'm going to zoom back in. Here we go. This blue aura has a significance. Only the blue aura surrounding this blue circle. This is basically the area of effect of what I call a gravity pulse generator. Well, what's a gravity pulse generator, you may say, or you may ask? A gravity pulse generator is the module in which players are going to use to interdict other players out of quantum drive. And it's nothing more than an illegal hack. Pirates, mercenaries, bounty hunters, whomever, basically take the gravity generator of a starship and through some technical wizardry, they basically amp it up to 1,000. They also, and this is one of the important parts, take the military grade sensors from a starship, obviously stolen from somewhere, wherever, and made it to that gravity pulse generator. That's what gives you, I'm going to kind of take us back to Galactic North. That's what gives you this large orange circle that you can see here. Well, what does this large orange circle denote? This large orange circle is basically the sensor range of your gravity pulse generator. From one edge to the other is 3 light minutes. Okay, well, how does that help me? Well, 3 light minutes is 54 million kilometers. Okay, well, that doesn't help me much more. Okay, well, the calculation is it would take 15 minutes to go from edge to edge. CIG can make the sensor range larger or smaller. That's up to them. That's the number that I just happen to settle on, and I'm going to tell you why in a minute. You can see this little pulse ring that's kind of going out from the center of your location. Let's not worry about that right now. I'm going to come back to that later. It's going to actually play some importance in a little bit. This little element that you see right here is actually the way I envisioned it in the game. That's basically the button that you use to discharge the gravity pulse generator. And it takes a while to charge this unit for obvious reasons. You're putting out a large pulse of energy. So, you may see here, it's this first quadrant may fill up, second quadrant will fill up, third quadrant will fill up, fourth quadrant will fill up, and then it's ready to go. It's not really that big of a deal, but I saw this here. I didn't really want it to go to waste. Ready-made for a button, so I made a button out of it. Okay, these units are not like they have some similarities to the Warlock in the way they work, but the similarities end there. It takes a while to charge these units up. You're talking somewhere on the order of 2 to maybe 5 minutes, and that depends on how much power you want to put into that gravity pulse wave that the device outputs. Now, for this particular video, I can't change the size of this circle. But in the game, you would be able to. And the way you would change that circle is by denoting, let's say we use these buttons here. Again, I'm just using what I got. At power setting 3, let's say at power setting 3, the circle is this big. At power setting 7, the circle is this big. At power setting 10, highest power setting, that's how big the circle is. Okay? And that the size of the circle will show you what area you can interdict. Now, this has some pluses and minuses. On a plus side, the smaller area or the less energy that you dump into your gravity pulse generator, the less likely chance there is of this wave being detected. By the time it gets out here, there's really there's actually nothing. It never even reaches the outer boundaries of the sensor screen. Maybe that's because I have it set at a 7. Let's just say for argument's sake. If I had it set at 10, it would go all the way to the edge. If I had it set at a 1, it might only go out to here. That's going to be important in a minute. Okay, so I'm really trying to set the background for what you could see here on the screen. Right now, none of these icons are moving because I haven't set them in motion yet. We're going to pretend they're not in sensor range. These are all different ships going to and from and making their way throughout the Star Citizen universe. So I'm going to pause this video because, well, I'm a cheapskate and I didn't pay for the full version of Bandicam, which you can see right here. I'm using the free version. I only get 10 minutes per video and I'm probably almost at my 10 minutes. So I'm going to pause this video and come right back.